on those two bands has been cataclysmic.
And well, mind you guys, Pat, you guys have, done pretty well for yourselves. I'm in that between 50 to 100,000, and I'm feeling it and seeing it from looked at price this time on the shelf and out loud been like, are you serious? And other people in the aisles are like teaming up going, I'm starting random conversations with people.
And they're not coming down.
And they're not.
Eggs did, but
everything else, Tom, is not. And it's like,
yep.
you guys, because I think it was live on this podcast, Adam, where the White House, remember the recession, the 2 quarters of negative growth, where they live changed the definition. It's like, at what point do we admit it's messed up and just come out and say, like, Tom, we're living in it right now, and how much is it going to affect the election? Because, I mean, that's the average American, and that's me, and I'm feeling it.
I'll give you this. You know how Tom gave 3 different things? I'm going to give you 2 different things because you always highlight that the PBD podcast is different from the Sozcast audience. So I'll give 2 different messages over here. So some to the younger single dudes out there, and then those to the families out there, because those are different categories. Because I don't want to get ripped a new one from PBD when I tell people you can just Uber rather than having a car payment for $1,000.
Folks, brace for impact.
Here we go.
Yeah. So let them eat cake, says Adam.
For if you're young and you don't have a family and you're just a young hustler guy or girl out there, the key to life in America these days is having low overhead and high flexibility. Keep your costs low and your flexibility high. You don't know what the hell's around the corner. Andy Grove once said, only the paranoid survive. Whether Kevin O'Leary is right or wrong, or Michael Burry or Warren Buffett who thinks the economy is strong, no one knows. What you can do to control your own pocketbook and your own financial security is keep your head on a swivel, see what's going on, and that also just stay the course as far as your financial situation. What I would also say is those that have families, those that can't necessarily have that high level of flexibility and the low overhead, because you are maybe fixed in on a house, you can't sell it. You can downsize on cars. That's not what I'm recommending specifically. But there is something going on in America today. And it's very interesting because, Andrew Tate highlighted it when we spoke with him. It's the sense of rugged individualism that America is founded on, being an individual, but also juxtaposed with a sense of family. If you remember, Tate told that story about the 7 Muslim brothers that all lived in the same house.
Yep.
And they pooled their resources, and they all lived together, and they worked together, and they were all driving. If you do have kids and you do have family, they don't need to necessarily rush to get their own apartment and move out to college and pay rent over here. And have a car
so
over
don't
here.
kick your kids out. Is what
I'm just saying that the family unit is the strongest thing we have in America. And
Very interesting.
But we have this sense of like, oh, you're 18, get the hell out of the house. I would recommend that young people who are 18 stay in the house, save rent, lower bills, keep the family unit.
Did you talk to Tico and Dylan? Is this what's prompting?
Yeah, they're going to be there till they're 30. There it is.
Yeah,
but they can have girls over, but the doors must remain open. I'm sorry, Pat.
Yeah,
it's the way it works, especially Santa, homie.
Yeah,
it's not happening.
Brother.
No one goes on the second floor. Go ahead.
No, but Pat, like, think about it, Adam. In my 40s, single, but whatever. Like, when I'm telling you, it's feeling it right. And mind you, I don't spend money on crazy stuff. I have a freaking Toyota Corolla, Pat. But the gas, the rent, it's getting insane. Like, I've been looking at the numbers. It's getting really bad.
I'll add one more thing. Everyone's like, oh my God, what, 63% paycheck to paycheck? What's the exact number? 65%? By the way, it was the same thing 10 years ago. When I started doing financial content, two out of 3 people are living paycheck to paycheck. That was under Obama. That was under Trump. Welcome to America. This is nothing new. Yes, inflation's higher. Wages have gone up a little bit. This is America. People are overspending. They're not saving. For the last 10 years since I've been doing financial content, 50% of Americans own investments, own stocks. It has not changed. So your habits need to change because America's not changing.
It's an evergreen message that is continuous to be given, and it's very necessary to be given. I'm glad you're making that adjustment. So I think if I want to unpack what I took away from what you said.
Yes, sir.
Parents, 3 families combine and live together. Consider the religion of Muslim. It's kind of like where you were going with that.
Breaking news, I'm converting to Islam. A Jew is converting to Islam
That's the feeling
just to save that money. That's it. That's what I'm willing to do, guys.
Can I take the last word real quick?
Go for it,
the
please.
next one. 10 years ago, what was the population of America? What's the population of America now? When the government steps in to bridge this and give people relief checks,
This is Gaming. With our free Windows downloadable software, you'll have access to a gaming application where you can play
in these things is tens of millions greater. So it is a bigger problem when you get a socialist president that says we're going to print money, bail you out, and pass it down to the grandchildren.
Okay, let's go to the next story. Next story, should we go to the youth unemployment in China? I think we talked about that, right?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, let's go to Elon Musk blames elite schools for brainwashing communist trans daughter into hating him for being rich. By the way, these types of stories, you have no idea what this does to me when I read these types of stories. Oh my God.
What page?
It's just ill.
17. Go to page 17. Here we go. Here we go. Elon Musk attributes his daughter, Vivian Jenna Wilson's distancing from him to her school's influence, stating she went beyond socialism to being a full-on communist and thinking that anyone rich is evil. He discloses the rift is deeply painful, comparing it to the loss of his first child, and laments, I've made many overtures, but she doesn't want to spend time with me. Musk reveals that in April 2022, Wilson's transformation into a fervent Marxist led to a breakdown in their relationship. He emphasizes her desire to disassociate from him by changing her name and gender and adds she doesn't want to have anything to do with me. Musk singles out Crossroads School for Arts and Science. Can you pull up the school real quick? Crossroads School and Arts and Sciences as a contributing factor, indicating I partly blame the school for her ideological shift. He draws a parallel between the school's influence and his perception of Twitter, which he purchased later to defend free speech and counter suppression. Tom, you're a father of two daughters. What do you think about the story?
She will be back on the long walk to the middle. Trust me. She will be back. This reminds me of the young girl who ended up in a viral Twitter pic. She's sitting in an airport with a MacBook Air, expensive sneakers, holding a $7 Starbucks with a big sticker on her MacBook. Capitalism sucks, yet capitalism built everything that was in the picture with her. You remember that?
Yep.
And I feel this is the same thing. Whatever was in that girl's head is what's in Elon Musk's daughter's head. You've got these, $60,000 a year liberal teachers that think all rich people are bad. And so they're out there telling these stories about it because, I don't know, they think there's a money tree and the government's just going to give you universal basic income and all the things you want, including a MacBook Air, nice sneakers, and a Starbucks. As a father, you have to be active in your kids and you have to tell them two things. Why? And when. And I work a lot with my daughters on this, is the why and the when. Why are things like this and when did it start? And let them go see the facts. I've always said that I want my daughters to have two abilities. One is to reason and the other is to resist. And if I tell them why and when and present them facts, and I'm big on processing, Pat was an influence on me on processing. I was even more focused on processing the last 5 years as things have sped up, Pat. But I want my kids to be able to reason and resist because I tell them why things started, when they started, so they can go look it up in history for themselves. Otherwise, they're going to be sitting in a classroom like this and getting bombarded. My kids are going to sit back and go, no, wait a minute. What are you saying there? When did that start? Why did that start? What are you talking about? And they're going to be asking that. They're not going to be saying, oh, you're messed up. I love my dad and you're full of crap. No, they're going to reason right back at it.
Why do you think you said that? Don't worry, she'll be back, like in the moderate lane. Why are you so convinced of that?
On the long walk to the middle.
Yeah,
she's going to come back.
Why do
because
you say that?
She's going to discover a desolate life and minimum wage existence unless she stumbles into some, wealthy artist. Whoops, I almost went into Hunter Biden land there. And can go live her life. She's going to come back to dad and realize when she's 30 years old, she's going to come back and she's going to say, I'm sorry. And she may still have her liberal viewpoints, but there's going to be a reconciliation. And I call that the long walk to the middle. You go way to the left and you slowly slide back to the middle and suddenly you find your father's not so crazy. And I call that the long walk back to the middle from her point of extremism now, which has no consequence because she's a student. She's being supported. There's all these things she doesn't have to worry about. You know what I mean, Adam? You probably see these people in a city like Miami, a few of the fringe.
Yeah. By the way, check this out. You know this? Were you going to make a point?
I was going to
there she is.
I don't know if that's actually her though, but
No, that's not her. That's the girl.
Yeah.
That's the viral picture I was talking about.
So I don't know if I agree with you, Tom, and here's why. Pat always says, "Who's in your ear? Who's in your ear? Who's in your ear?" Clearly, she has the wrong people in her